my body is irrelevant. In other words, let's refresh your head about pulling down curtains and breaking the wall bed. Yeah, I like it when you both sets of lips on the TLC time.
What's good? What's good, fam? Who with me today? Who with me today? What is it, Tuesday? Let me check the date. Today is Tuesday. Welcome to the Wyatt Live conversation. Let's have this talk. What's good? What can I say? Yesterday, the time got away from me. Check this a little bit. Yesterday, the time got away from me, folks. I apologize. I couldn't do the conversation. I couldn't have, is it no sound? Let's do a sound check. Donna says, is it me or is there no sound? Let's do a sound check. How are we? Are we good? Let me just make sure. Let me make sure. I think we're good. Donna says, oh, it was me. Take me off mute. Or we're good? Make sure we're good over on this end. My apologies. Let me just make sure. You miss a day. If I miss a day of hookup, I might not hook something up. If I miss a week, I'm for sure not going to hook something up. If I miss a month, whew, good luck if the camera work. Good luck if the microphone work. Good luck on anything. YouTube, good. Thank you, Preston. Valerie Davis, thank you. Valerie Davis says, sounds good. Dominique says, good. LaDonna says, it was me, Wyatt. I should have known. Donna, I should have known. I'm just kidding. Just having a good time. I'm in somewhat of a good mood today. I'm in a good mood because today is my baby. I know my ugs can't stand it when I come in here and talk about my children. They can't stand it when I come in here and talk about my children. But let me just say this announcement. I'll probably say it again just for those that come in late. I want to get on somebody else's nerve too by bragging about my children. But today is my youngest daughter, Trinity. Today is her last day of class at Belmont University. Excuse me. Today this morning she took her final exam and they did their little thing. She'll be home on the 17th, so I need to pick her up from the airport on the 17th. I think that's Thursday. I think we'll still do a show on Thursday. I don't have to get her till 4 o'clock. So if I finish the show right around 3, that'll give me about an hour to get across town and doing what I need to do. I ain't gonna tell y'all my business about how close or how far I live from the airport. That's none your business. But we might be able to do at least a half of a show on Thursday. So that means I'll probably start at 1 o'clock on Thursday. And the reason being is because I do have to get my baby. She'll be home for a couple of weeks. And then guess what? We're going to fly back to Nashville together as a family for the very last time, unless we just go there for some recreational shit. And that's highly likely because Nashville is a nice city. But I won't be carrying stuff like refrigerators and college dorm stuff. Never, ever, never, ever again to Nashville. So she's going to stay home for a couple of weeks. We're going to go back together like on May the 1st or 2nd. I'll have to check my dates because I won't be here. And on May the 3rd, my baby graduates with a college degree. Now I got to brag about that because she's been able to do this in 2 years. My baby graduates on the 3rd of May with a 4-year college degree, and she's been able to do it in 2 years. And then she has selected she has selected the Ohio State University for medical school. I'm totally proud papa. Now, you guys know a few years ago, I had to do this same thing with my oldest, Randy. And here's the hard part. I didn't really want her to go to Ohio State. I never told her that, but since she's selected her school, I wanted her to go to Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati Medical School for my own selfish reasons. I've never been really selfish with my children, so I'm not going to start now. Okay. But I wanted her to go to Cincinnati. Cincinnati's ranked like 23rd in the nation for medical school. Ohio State is ranked number 3 in the nation. And so she wanted to go to the better school. But of course, the better school is going to be a distance. It's an hour away from home, hour and a half away from the Cincinnati home. And I'm okay with that. But here comes some other extra stuff that, is not necessary. And that is now we got to go up there and search for an apartment. Got to do all of that all over again. Yeah, you understand? I just can't stand that shit. I'm a firm believer. I don't like renting and all that type of stuff. But in this case, it's just for, she's going to be in school for 6 years. I might as well just why don't we just buy a condo? Let's try to buy something there. That you got 6 years, 2 years in class, 4 years resident. You might as well just try to get something. Let's try to do, I don't know, maybe the first year we'll just go ahead and rent and see what happens. I would rather it been in Cincinnati because guess what? She would have free meals, free shelter, free car. Everything is close, to the Cincinnati area. I would feel better if she went to UC because it would be less expensive. But, I'm not going to be selfish at this point. I've given her all of me. My wife and I given her everything. That's what our place in life is to be. Once we bring kids in this world, they're supposed to be first. And I don't want to do anything selfish, even though as parents, let me just ask you guys this. As parents, we always know what's best majority of the time. Okay. And we know when our kids are making bad decisions, not necessarily bad, but not the best. There's a difference. You could just be a kid that's making bad decisions. And that's different than a kid that's making decisions, but it's not the best decision that they could make for a certain situation. My daughter's not making the best decision when it comes to financials. Because to me, to be honest with you, I've seen this a million times. Doesn't matter what law school you go to. Doesn't matter what medical school you go to. Don't really matter. Get the degree and get out in the workforce. See, the degree is just to get you to open up the door. Now I can't honestly say that a UC degree won't get you, like a Ohio State degree is going to get you in a better door than UC. I don't know. I don't really care. All I need is the door open. That's just my mentality. I'll do the rest once I get in there. But for the most part, she's made the decision to go to Ohio State. I'm happy. I got one graduate. We got one graduate from Ohio State, and that's cool. So I'm just Buckeye. I'm Buckeye at this point. But it could have been done financially. It could have been done much, much better. You know what I mean? You have everything at home. Here's the other thing. I understand being young. I don't know what age you guys were when you left home. I was fairly young. And I don't know if this is young to some folks, but for a male, being where I'm from, to be honest with you, leaving home at 19 and never going back. I've never moved back home. Once I moved out, I've been out. I've been an adult when it comes to that forever. Matter of fact, one thing I'll say on that note, and this is not a flex, this is just me being honest. I remember one time my mother used to try to convince me that I needed her help when I was out there. I just, for some odd reason, never really wanted to ask my mother for lunch money. I didn't want to ask my mother for nothing because she was single and she was just putting things together. And I seen how hard she worked to make things happen for us. I never wanted to ask my mother for anything. And it never really happened when I was an adult. I remember one time I was out on my own. My wife and I, we had an apartment. It was over on Sycamore. It was right off Sycamore Hill in Cincinnati. And I remember I was a little bit short on my rent, and because I put it towards my gas and electric. And I told my mother, but I didn't tell my mother so she could step in and help. I told my mother because I didn't work it right. I should have just shorted the gas and electric bill. I'm a young dude. I'm 19 years old. I should have shorted the gas and electric bill, kept the money from my rent, and just sent in less money for the gas and electric. But I'm a firm believer, like, they can't cut my apartment off, but they could cut my gas and electric off. So I'm going to send this money in so my gas and electric. Now, I was on time. I was the type of guy who, if the bill came in at $126, I would send $126 in. I didn't send partial payment. I didn't know any better. I was not raised. My mother didn't teach me about those things. But I just, when a bill came, I paid the bill. So I paid the bill, and I was a little bit short on my rent at that time. And my mom was adamant about giving me some money to help me pay my gas and electric. And I was like, what? No, that's not what I'm telling you, Mom. I'm not telling you so you can pay my gas and electric. I'm telling you because I just wanted you to know what situation I'm in. I'm going to get this shit worked out. That's how you raised me. You raised me to get this shit done. I'm going to get it done. I didn't tell. And I think she was disappointed. I think my mother really wanted to hand me some money and help me out. And I never really did that. I never asked my mother for anything other than advice. Now, advice to me is more valuable than any check she could have handed me, because my mother was a very smart individual when it came down to life lessons and life situations, because she had been through it. So I took everything she said in, and I really, 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 really paid attention to the things that she said, no matter what look I had on my face. When I was younger, I pretended not to pay attention. But as I got older, I would stare her down until she finished talking. I never interrupted her. I would always just listen and see if it actually worked, was the same energy that someone else was telling me. Like if I would hear from my grandmother and my mother's stuff would interact. They were interchanged. Like you could tell that the shit was the same. So I paid so much attention to that, and it always worked out for me. But I think my mother was disappointed that I didn't need her help. Like I needed more advice. Sometimes I would tell my mother things. We're 15 years in difference in age. So what my mother didn't understand coming from me was a lot of my conversations sometimes came not from a son's point of view, but from the friends that we were. So I would come to her, I would tell her things that I really wanted her to know that was going on in my life, not necessarily for her to fix it or for her to help me with it. But you know how we all have somebody that we can find in. We all have somebody that we can talk to. And if you don't have someone, I'm sorry about that. But we all need somebody that we can put, take things off our chest, off our shoulders, and just say it to them. And I'm gonna tell you something. The best friend in the world is one that sometimes don't give you advice. They just give you their ear. They just listen to you. Sit back and be like, I understand. I get it. They don't want to hear you, that you don't want to hear them saying, see, I told your dumbass, or I wouldn't F with him, I wouldn't F with her. They don't necessarily, I don't have to have a friend like that. So I've actually learned how to try to be that friend sometimes. Like if a friend or someone reaches out to me that I haven't talked to in a long time ago, a long time, I generally know that they need my ear. If they ask for the advice, then I'll give it. But if you reach out to me and you just venting, I'm gonna listen because I understand the importance of being able to just hear, or the importance of someone just listening to you. Because some people just, they don't really want your advice. They really don't want, they don't care how you would handle it. They really just venting and they just want you to hear what they have to say. They don't want to hear the win and the loss. They don't want to hear the I told you so's. And I'm one of them people as well. I don't want to hear I told you so, told your dumbass. I don't really want to hear that, bro. I just want you to hear what I got to say. It's a selfish position, but that's okay. I think we all can be selfish at times. Sometimes you just have to be selfish. Being selfish will sometimes get you through the worst things, the hardest parts of your life. You got to stick to you, stick to you. So yeah, my mom, I kind of disappointed her one time. I was a little bit short on my rent and she wanted to give me some money to help me. And I couldn't do it. Like my mother raised me to be a very independent individual. And I felt like taking any type of financial help from her, that was like I just couldn't do it. It was, I don't know what it was. I'm not too proud, but I just like, I was never one of them dudes in general that would take money from women. It didn't feel good. I did it one time. I had this little girlfriend at young age, 18, 19 years old or some old shit. It was right before I met my wife. It was the girl that I was kind of seeing before I met my wife. And she wasn't really, I hate to say it, ladies, but we know if we're gonna be with you, if we not. All right. If we just kicking it, we kicking it. But this young lady, I had a Lazarus card. I was just starting to get my credit together. It had a little punk ass $100 credit line on it. I remember as if it was yesterday. It was one of my first credit cards. I was getting my shit together and I went and bought some Guess jeans with it. And, I was trying to be something that I'm not. And that was that player type shit, player type dude where I wanted that young lady to pay my credit card off. She came to the crib, do what we do, you know what I'm saying? And then sit back and do some shit like what some of my family and some of my cousins and shit, they like to play with women's emotions and get them to pay for lunch and dinners and get money out their pocket. I just wasn't folded that way. I wasn't folded that way. I couldn't, and y'all can call me whatever you want to call me. That might just be the difference between you and I. I just couldn't milk women for money. But I did that day and it didn't feel good. I got that little hot ass $25 and it was just a portion of the bill. I got a little punk ass $20, $25 toward the bill on my credit card after, and then I let it, she went home after, you know what I'm saying? That didn't feel good to me. That just, it made me feel, it just didn't feel good to me. And I ain't got no problem for guys who may do that, but for each his own. You feel me? Like I grew up opening doors for women. I grew up, saying yes, ma'am, no, sir. I grew up that type of way. And along with that type of upbringing, I came up with a different type of way of handling women when it came down to respect. Now, I'm not Mr. Goodbar. I haven't been super like I broke a few hearts. My heart's been broken a few times. And all I'm gonna say to y'all is like in my little post that I just put up on my I don't know, reel. Thank God I'm not. Y'all better be glad I'm not God. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all, some of y'all better be glad I'm not God because I believe vengeance is not mine. It's for the Lord. It's God makes all, that karma thing. That's what I think. But what? Hold on. Carolyn Smith says, Wyatt, do old I can't really make that one out, Carolyn Smith. I just seen it flashed on my screen here. I'll try to make that out. Sorry, it came up. It beeped here. I thought that was you beeping, but I don't know. But it says, Wyatt, do old ass ninjas always in the street trying to direct traffic? Sir, please get your ASS out the street. Who you referring to? Who are you referring to? I'm just curious because is this some street shit I'm talking about, or am I missing something? Let me see. Maybe you talking about me? I don't know what I said. I don't know. I'm gonna wait for the response to see what it is, who she referred to. But she said, "Pay me no mind. I'm driving." So you must be typing some. Are you talking into your computer? Oh, Alethea, I'm sorry. I see your comment. What's up, sis? Aren't you at the doctor's office with Cruz with nephew? Can we take 5 seconds if you guys don't mind, and everybody give however you give your prayers? Can you give my nephew Cruz a prayer? He's having an outperson surgery today. He's getting something that's minor, and we need our sister to get we need to give our sister some strength. Okay, let her know as a family that we here. Um, I don't want to make it sound like it's like it's too minor. Anytime your kid is going under some type of surgery or some type of, medical situation, man, it could always be something different than what it start out. But let's just give my little nephew Cruz, if y'all don't mind, 5 seconds of your time. Give him whatever you do to talk to God for a hot second. If you can just give little Cruz a shout out or a prayer. He's going through a little ear surgery type of situation. My daughter, my youngest daughter, whose last day today, the one I was mentioning, she went through the same situation. And, I had to talk to sis. I got to, like anybody else, I'm here for you. But yeah, my daughter, my youngest daughter had the same situation. I can't on this airwaves tell you how my sister Alethea and I are, we're we're together on this particular thing. We both face we both have a thing going on in life where when we see our children in this situation, that it gives us what they call it, what's that, PTSD? Yeah, we both kind of had that situation. So I don't feel comfortable having those conversations here on the air. This is social media, and I don't want to put all that out there like that. But listen, it's very important that the mother of our future, of all our futures, feel good and comfort by us as a community. That's important. Parents have to feel like people have their back. It has to be. And I don't want to veer off on this because I am going to talk about some of this shit that's going on out here in the world right now. These 14, 15, and 16-year-olds that's out here shooting and killing everybody. I got some stuff lined up. I'm going to tell you one of the hardest things in the world that must be going on right now. If you're a single mother raising a child, raising a young man, it has to be tough. It has to be tough. What's probably, I don't know how to say this without sounding ridiculous to some people, but I think one of the most toughest things is feeling like you're doing it all by yourself. Now, you could be one of them parents that just want to act like a badass, a tough ass cookie, tough ass, a tough, yeah, I'm too strong. Everybody needs help. Everyone needs help. And I'm gonna tell you the biggest help in the world. It's like I told you, I go to my mom. I don't want your money, mom. I need your advice. I need your ear. I need you to tell me. That's more valuable than one. I also knew that my mom had my back. I also knew that people had my mother's back. I also knew I had other Mama Birch, all of them. I always knew that I was never out in them streets by myself. It might have been bad when Mama Birch or Donna could go back and tell on us or some old shit like that. They keep us in a straight and narrow. Our mothers need that. I mean, I don't know how it is today. I doubt it's what it is, how it was back in our day. Let me just ask, do you really think in our neighborhoods today that our 14 and 15-year-olds are out here in these streets and they feel intimidated by adults? Do you really think that Mama Birch, I haven't seen Mama Birch on the platform today, but I'm just going to use her as an example. Oh, there she is. There she is. She here. I can't do shit over by the laundromat downtown. Mama Birch up there looking down on us, and she will tell. If she gonna tell after she comes snatch us up. I don't think parents do that shit today. Do you see kids getting snatched up by the community, like by parents out here? I mean, I maybe I'm out of tune, maybe I'm out of touch. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't really see a lot of that. Yes, sir. No, sir. I don't. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't see a lot of that today. I really don't. And I could be out of touch. Maybe I need to go back to the block. Maybe I need to, be around a little bit more. But from what I do for a living over the last 20-something odd years, I'm not getting that vibe. I'm just not, I haven't been out there on the block since COVID. Okay. And it ain't COVID that's stopping me from going out in the block. It's the shit that's going on out there. It's not COVID. I fucked COVID up. Being COVID then boxed already. I ain't too sure I want to be dealing with some of these children. Some of these kids out here, they don't care that you and they mama cool. They don't care that you and they daddy grew up together. He don't even know him. I know his daddy better than he know his daddy. They don't care about your family associations and shit like that. Man, I don't care nothing about you. Man, you better go on. They don't care. So I'm just being honest with you. I mean, y'all can say whatever you want to say about me, but I don't have to say this. But the truth is in the performance. I ain't going to say no names of some of the families, but some people here will know. There's some names that I grew up with where there was 6, 7 sisters, 3 brothers, you know what I'm saying? And they all didn't had a bunch of kids. Them kids didn't have kids. Now them kids that didn't have them kids, they now have kids. Them kids don't give a fuck about me. It stopped 2-3 kids ago. I ain't gonna say the names, but I'm sure a lot of us that know how this thing go. Yeah, I'm 2 generations away from. I don't give a fuck that you grew up with my great-grandma, with my grandmother, with my mother. I don't give a fuck about that. Man, you better get out of my face. You can't tell me nothing, bro. You better go on. Am I the only one? I ain't disciplining nobody's kids out here. No, because they don't even know me. They don't give a shit that me and they mama used to be cool. They don't care nothing about me and they daddy used to play football together and we was cool. They don't care nothing about that. They will knock you the fuck out. They don't care nothing about the leaders being the leaders. And oh yeah, now if you bear gifts, they'll they'll be cool. They'll lay around there. They'll suck up the gifts for a little while till you piss them off. I mean, I'm just being 100. I'm just being real about this shit. But the truth of the matter is, man, and it has, unfortunately, it's the repercussions of having bad parents. Because some of them same parents that I'm telling you about that I grew up with, they were bad parents. They were bad. It's not the kids' fault they grew up the way they grew up. Some of us grew up in certain conditions and did absolutely nothing to change those conditions. And we ended up putting our children in the same conditions that we were in, but then the conditions got worse. Let me ask you something. If you grew up in the 60s and couldn't read or write, you can manage. You can manage. If you grew up in the 70s, couldn't read and write, you can manage. Probably better than the ones in the 60s, right? If you grew up in the 80s and couldn't read or write, you could still survive. Probably a little bit better than the ones in the 60s and the 70s. If you grew up in the 90s and couldn't read or write, you could manage, but you could probably do things a little bit. It got a little tougher than the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. If you're growing up now in the millennium into 2000s, you might be able to maneuver a little bit, but it's getting tougher and tougher and tougher. But guess what's the same? That condition is the same. You can't read and write just like your great grandmother couldn't in the 60s and the 70s, but they can maneuver through it. but they in the same conditions, but the times are changing. So I don't expect people who grew up in my conditions and pass it on to their kids that their kids gonna get better under the same conditions. That just is oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense at all. Linda Reed, I'm not gonna let you leave this room without me making that special announcement. I think she know what it is. It's birthday gift number 2. Hold on one second. Let me see if I who at my gate. Hold on. Yeah, we at birthday gift number 2. Linda Reed, I wish I would have took a snapshot of this. Linda Reed, the Yin Yang twins coming to Cincinnati. I know them your boys. I forgot the date. I think it's in July. They'll be at the casino. They'll be at the casino. Yeah, somebody ringing the, the gate and he go crazy. That's Dominique said, get the dog. I can't. If I get the dog, I'm gonna have to get up and go get him. Just when they out there doing the yard, the people doing the yard, and he don't like all the, the moors that go up the hill, and he don't like that. So when he hear every time the machines get to going, the lawnmowers and stuff, he don't. Anything that can make louder noise than him, he gonna try to be the bigger dog. Now you know how he got to be the big dog. But yeah, Linda Reed, the Yin Yang twins will be in Cincinnati in July. I'm sure you and your husband got front row seats for that one. It's gonna be indoors. You won't need a lawn chair. Whistle while you twerk. Go ahead, Linda Reed. Church lady. I won't tell nobody if you won't tell them, Linda Reed. I bet you the church won't know where you're going to be that weekend, will it? I hear you. Nah, I'm never going to let it go, Linda. I'm never going to let it go. But we family anyway. I love you. But anyway, yeah, like, look at the kid. Look. I'm a firm believer that there are no bad kids. There are bad parents. I've been saying that forever. Bad parents. Conditions are not changing. The world is changing. Some of these kids are staying in the same conditions. Schools are shutting down, and these kids can't read and write. I don't know how many of y'all want to blame who you want to blame, and this and this and that. But if it makes you feel better to blame systems and all that old type of shit, feel free to do so. Whatever floats your boat. I have a new saying. I'm a new guy. I'm a new person right now. I'm tired of being so serious about what I'm doing here on Wyatt Live. Tired of it. Because what I come to realize is some of the people that say what they say, they don't really mean that shit. They just need that shock value. Like, you can't be that stupid to think the way you think and think like that. You just saying that shit because either you just saying it because people need to hear it, and it's easy. It's easy to talk to people that just agree with you, that agree with everything you say. I don't care how crazy this shit is. It's easy to have a conversation when y'all all on the same page. It's much harder to have a conversation when people just don't really, you don't have to not get along, but when you have a difference of an opinion, even when something's right and when something is wrong, y'all kind of come with this. You're on the same page, but you come with you come with something different at the end. It's kind of, it's, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. That's why I'm the lowest viewing platform. It's not me. I don't want to say that it's not me that they don't like. Some of them don't like me, but they don't like what I say more than they dislike me. Okay, and I've learned that. I've learned that people would rather what do you mean get the phone? Twin said, Miranda, why get the phone? What do you mean? Phone right here. My phone hasn't rang. They would rather discredit me than the information. If you get someone not to like the messenger, then nobody will listen to what the messenger has to say. That's the easiest. That's like the most manipulative way of handling someone is you have to discredit them. Get people not to like them versus what they say. Because if what they say, if what they saying is a fact, you could still get people. It's easier to discredit someone than to discredit a fact, right? That's kind of basic. That's easy to do. If you get a room full of people not to like him, then whatever he says doesn't really matter. But trying to convince people that a fact is not a fact, that's a little harder. Because we've been here doing it. And that is, I've said some things to you that Dr. Umar Johnson has said before y'all start discrediting him. I done said some things that Stephen A. Smith done said on these airways, maybe not on this show, but out here in the world. He now saying the shit I was saying 2 years ago. Y'all discredited me, so you didn't even hear the message. Now Stephen A. Smith is so smart that he could probably run for president. Yeah, he's saying the same shit I was saying 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, up to 6 months ago. And you didn't want to hear it from the messenger because you don't want to hear it from the messenger because people discredit the messenger, even though the message is on point. And then a few months later, 2 months later, when that same message hits you, now it's credible because it's coming from somebody that y'all think is smart. This person could now run for president. Okay, fine. Let me give you an example of how that shit is working out for certain people. You used to listen to preachers, right? Preachers ran the black community for decades. Decades. They was the leader of the community. They were used to manipulate the people. I'm not suggesting all preachers. Only the preachers that let the politicians in the door. Y'all listen to preachers all the way up to the hymns. Push them hymns in the community and associated the belief in God into the community and all this old other shit and force religion into your political situations in life. And now that's what you bend your back on. You lean back on all that information and that bullshit. Meanwhile, certain people getting paid for that information. Certain people are producing conditions off of that information, keeping you daisy and lazy on information. And you just amen all the way, all night and day, going to prayer, going to motherfucking Bible study and all this old one shit. I ain't suggesting anything wrong with believing in God, but you better believe in God more than you believe in man. Just saying. Destroy the messenger. Once the messenger has no credibility, then a fact don't matter. Get it? So I'm gonna stop taking this shit so serious because now I see the game. I'm just fine. You know, I'm a C student. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. That's just a fact. There's a reason why them politicians sit in the front row 3 months before election. Then they piece your ass out right afterwards. Mission accomplished. There's a reason why people start shows and hold narratives at the same time that you do. Structure. They don't want you to hear a different opinion or a different way of seeing things. They don't want you to say, look, they don't want you to be they don't want you to bring a different way of seeing things. That way you might have to readjust how you see things or how you hear them or none of that. They don't want, if they keep you captured, then they become successful at what they do. You know, I got this new favorite animal. I think I'm a whale. Now, for some of y'all don't think that this is some what do they call a flex? Because I did some research. I did a study. Kind of gave it away, but I'm just going to ask anyway because shit, it's just part of how I talk. Let me ask you guys something, just for the family here, just for us on the air. Can anybody tell me what's the largest living animal in the world? I was going to say in the United States, but it's not necessary. Just in the world. Without Googling it, take a guess, take a stab. Without doing the research, just, without going on Google, because that's the new research. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, what's the largest living? I didn't say largest, the longest living animal. Twins said roaches, not the longest living. And I don't think roaches is an animal. I think it's an insect. We got a couple winners there. Scott Bain, what's up? Deanna, what's up? Twin said a camel. Boy, I tell you what, bro, something is wrong with you, man. Something is wrong with Twin. Stephen Speed, that's a good answer, but it's not right. Elephants are not the largest living animal. Thank you, Tanika. Ron Dula Googled some shit because don't nobody know that it's a sperm whale. He Googled it, trust me. But the truth of the matter is a whale is the largest animal. Stop, Twin. He said a dog. Stop playing, bro. I'm about to block you with these dumbass answers, bro. Everybody know you might be a little slow, but you ain't slow like that. You come here and talk shit. A whale. Now, let me tell you something. I am a whale. Now, some of y'all who gamble and go to casinos and understand what a whale truly is, when it comes down to that, that's not what I'm referring. I'm not referencing myself to that type of whale. Okay. A whale in the gambling world is somebody that has unlimited. They bet millions. They have unlimited betting. They don't have a chill when it comes to betting. They're big. Sit back, Sierra. You might get something out of this. So a whale is how I see myself. Ron said, ain't no Google, it's me. I'm smart. Sorry, I'm a C student, Ron. You probably did know that before. I had to look it up. I had to learn some things before I can make this, before I could use this as an example. When I was a little boy, here we go. When I was a little boy, I used to go to these little carnivals and shit and win little goldfish. I remember to throw the ping pong ball. We would go to St. Joseph and go to those little carnivals, throw the ping pong balls in, throw the ping pong ball, and tinker, tinker, tinker. And when it fell in the thing, in the little round little thing, and it had a goldfish in it, that's how you want a goldfish. You know what I mean? My first example of how to take care of my first pet was a goldfish. My grandmother took me over to St. Joseph and I won a goldfish. I remember it as if it was yesterday. I was big. I was cool. My mom, then she took me to the little store to get the pit fish food, the little flake fish food. I had my first pet as a little boy. Loved it. Grew up, wanted a fish tank. Start learning a little bit more about fish. True story. True story. I'm true story. Wanting to know a little bit about fish. So what I learned about fish is fish tend to grow in its surroundings. You keep a fish in a jar, he ain't gonna grow that bad. He can't grow that much. They only grow as big as the tank. So I never really wanted a fish mentality. Y'all feel me? Like, I know I didn't call some people some goldfish before because goldfish has a 15-second memory. Did y'all know that? Did y'all know the reason why a fish could jump on a line and get brought in and then they throw the fish back in, and after 15 seconds, that dumbass fish could do the same thing because he has no recollection. He doesn't remember that he just got captured. Fish have a 15-second memory. I never knew that till I was doing my research growing up. But I wanted to be a whale. I want to be a whale. And what made me want to be a whale is the largest animal. But you know why they're the largest? Because they have the largest tank to grow in, the ocean. And I don't want to limit myself by staying in this little bitty ass fish tank of a world. I've been around the world, yo. And I'm going to tell you, every place I've been to, I've learned something. I've learned a lot. I've learned something. And that's because I have not been captured in this same dumbass fish tank of information. I've been able to go out to a world. I'm flexing. I've been around the world, seen some things I never thought I would see, been in environments I never thought I would be in, talked to people that I never thought I would have an opportunity to talk to, absorb some information from them. And there's people that don't want that type of messenger to get the message across because they stuck in the same fish tank they've been in since day one. And this is where I lose some people. This is where motherfuckers get to talking that, oh, there you go, thinking he better. No, there's people that's in bigger fish tanks than me. I'm just trying to find them. But what I will not do is reduce them as being something I won't call them a derogatory. I won't call, y'all know there's dudes out here calling me albino and coon and all that old shit. And I'm shocked that people don't go and have my defense. They big enough to say that shit behind my back. They have access to come over here and say that type of shit to me. But they will not do it. You know why? Because if I can knock down the messenger and make the messenger look bad, then you won't go over there and see what he's talking about. But you can't prove that I'm anything derogatory that you call me. You better be glad I'm not God. I'm going to let God handle that. I even reached out to some people that I knew. Say, how should I handle this shit, man? And I knew I wasn't going to handle it the way they told me to. I knew they wasn't going to handle it. I knew I wasn't going to do what they told me to do, because why waste your time and energy on somebody that you know can't handle nothing that you're doing in life? They can't walk through the things you're walking through. You ever been around somebody or been around people that don't do nothing but knock everything you do? And the reason why they knocking what you can't do, what you going through and this and that, they ain't never been part of nothing that you doing in life, but they criticize the way you handle it and the way you do it. Somebody told me one time, I remember I had to tell this young man's mama, this young man was a millionaire. He's an athlete and he got in a little trouble. His mama had her guard up on me, even though I grew up with her and her husband. We grew up together. Like, you ain't got to have a guard up on me, sis. We cool as hell. But I'm going to tell you this truth. A lot of people say they would do this if they had his money, but they don't know what they would do because they ain't never had his money. They don't have his fame. They don't have his money. They don't have his situation. They don't have what he has. They've never been through the things that this young man been through to be able to say what they would do if they were him. Or if they had a situation, if they were in that way, in that situation, they don't know what they would do. I don't know if I would be the same person if I had $1 million at 20 years old. I don't know if I would have that. I don't know. Let me go to the phone lines real fast if you guys don't mind. Like, I was about to get off on a tangent. I don't really want to go that far off. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
This is CK, Cincinnati King, calling in from Cincinnati, Ohio. How you doing, Mr. Randall Wyatt?
CK, I'm doing well. How about yourself, bro? How you doing?
I'm fantastic. You better be glad I'm not God.
You damn right. Oh. You heard me?
Oh, hey, that's the name of the podcast. Oh, hey. That's the name of the podcast. Say that's what Wyatt. See, he's so damn successful. See, the guy Wyatt, the N-word Wyatt, when I say N-word, I mean nice guy. The nice guy, he just give you gems. He don't even charge you for it. You better be glad I'm not God podcast. That's the name of it. You hear me? Mm. That's what I'm saying.
All right, I hear you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean that in a way where it's like, you know, it's up to God to pay back the people that don't do you right.
Yeah, because you got to understand, I'm done playing nice guy. Now I'm being who I am. See, I'm at the 4-9. So all the games is done. Now I tell you who I am, what I really want. I'm making love to the money. You hear me? I'm making love to the money where it's about overtime, double time and a half. That's what I'm on.
Okay. You talking about overtime on your job, CK?
Yeah, indeed.
Ooh.
Indeed.
Ooh. Okay. Getting that money.
Yeah, I ain't got time for the games. You bringing the overnight bag.
Okay.
You know, they want to bring the overnight, but I ain't got time for no games. I'm making love to the money.
Oh, okay. You know,
The
bro, you're
money
gonna have to
treats
slow
you better
down.
than the women.
You're gonna have to slow down, CK. You losing me, bro. You getting too deep.
I got to get deep. We gotta go deeper like a damn internet X-rated site.
Okay, CK, I need you to stay off of the them Red Bull drinks and the Red Bull make a sandwich because it sound like you had a few of them too.
You know, I stay hungry. Hey, you know, they call me Starving Marvin at the gig. You hear me? I stay. Hey, I'm one of them cats you always see eating because I don't eat at home. I don't eat on the streets. You see what I'm saying? That is the poverty that we deal with. When you are sick, see, you a married guy.
Okay.
God damn. How the fuck y'all come? My bad. I'm sorry. So, my bad. I was getting accosted by some white ladies. They got on my nerves. I'm going to leave them alone. Let them do their thing.
Okay.
Bitches want to wait till I get around. That's why I hate the world built around me. As soon as I come around, here comes some white hoe. And then they got a little black. Okay, it's good. So, look, this the thing. Ain't no... Listen, we not playing no nice guy no more. We just gonna be straight up and down, no special effects. This is who I am. This is what I present. I am the star. I am the catch. I am the champion. The rest of these are just the peasants or the fans.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I'm the celebrity. That's why everybody want to know what's going on with me. I don't want to know what's going on with them. I don't give a damn who you with, who you dating. I don't care nothing about that. You care what's going on in my life. That's why the gem you drop, you better be glad I'm not God. Oh, money, cash, dinero. That's because you're secure, so you could drop gems. Most people not secure with themselves, so they can't drop them gems. They got to keep it to themselves. You see what I'm saying? That's real money right there. You feel me?
I do.
Yeah, I just want you to understand that, listen, we coming out here to get the bread, and we won't be stopped by our own kind, because you got to understand, you notice that you try to further your race as a people, black, and when I say race, I say black people, but a lot of your own people go against you. I have to deal with the same thing because they can't handle the truth, Wyatt. They can't handle the truth. The truth frustrates them. So we have to go through barriers to get our truth to the masses.
Okay.
And remember, the truth is, like I told you, there is no rules. They're gonna hate you for whatever you do. So number one rule is there is no rules. Number two, they're gonna hate you for whatever you do. So remember, when I say that, that means if you come up with a cure for cancer today, they're gonna say, man, but you ain't see what he did in the kindergarten.
Kindergarten.
See what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you.
So
here's the thing. I don't think that we as grown individuals should care what someone says. If they're making, like, if I'm the issue because of something that I said, then that's you obviously not really caring about the issue. The talk, take away dissect the issue, make the issue the conversation, not the messenger, not what's being said. Because I think you're missing the whole point if you're making it about the messenger, about the person who's saying something. Just discredit what was said by showing proof of what was said was not true. Hold on, CK. Okay. In my world, now I promise you can have the mic. In my world, if you discredit what someone says by proving it to be wrong, that then is more powerful in discrediting a person than trying to discredit the character or the way a person looks or how whatever they doing, they clothes, whatever. Discrediting them by making fun of them, you know, that's kind of a way of showing that you really don't have a comeback to something that was said. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you tell me that, you know, that the flag of America is red, white, and blue, and we should love it, but then I go in on you for loving the flag and talking about you, and that, you know, that's me trying to discredit you. We're not talking about if red is our favorite color, blue or white or whatever, when that's where you was trying to go with it. Like, I think this color combination is dope. Instead of talking about the color conversation, I got to talk about why you think that's, you know what I'm saying? I just don't, that's just foolish to me.
But you is what destroys the movement. You got to understand when they bust that man brains out, you know, Jackie Onassis to see what he was thinking, that ended the movement. That's in a clear message, Wyatt. It's in a clear message that you don't want to mess with these people. Hey, when that happened, it was over. That's what you got to realize. Once that happened, they knew it was over. And they destroyed everything he had to deal with. You hear me?
I hear you, bro.
So once the violence hit, they know what time it is. They can see, Jackie could see what John was thinking. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She could actually look down on her shirt and see it. Once that, so you get rid of a movement with the assassination of King, you ended the civil rights movement, Wyatt. When he died, so did the movement, Wyatt. 67, sir.
Okay.
So you murder, so one person is the big U is the movement. And why you think Big U name is on that night? He's the movement. It's Big U. Martin Luther King is the Big U. Malcolm X is the Big U. You stop the whole movement. Tupac was shut down. Thug Life no more. So you can't say the individual. The messenger is everything, sir. Jesus Christ. Remember, Jesus Christ. He's the one we bow down to. It's all about the messenger, sir. You forgot?
No. I think I got some of that, but toward the end, I was getting a little bit more. I think I understand where you're coming from. I think you were kind of making my point, to be honest with you. You say it's
always executed him.
Right.
They took him out. They killed Jesus Christ. They executed. They put him on the cross, Wyatt.
Okay.
They didn't need to do that. Why would they do that to JC?
Well, wasn't they? I'm not much of a biblical person, but didn't they put him up there just like they did any other crook and any criminal that they were trying to set an example on? If you do this, if you do that, this is what your punishment is. Didn't they do that? Wasn't they trying to shame him and make him look bad and take all the things that he was saying, discredit his words? Wasn't they doing that to him, making him look bad?
And that's my whole point, sir. Why would you treat the greatest like he's the average?
Oh,
he's the greatest of all time.
I got you. All right, CK, what else you got, bro? I got to move on. I'm at the top of the hour, man.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry, bro.
You gonna do JC like that? You gonna do JC like that?
No, I'm not, bro. I'm saying at the time.
Oh, man.
Oh, bro.
I can't believe it.
Damn, bro. It's going to be all right, man. I promise.
Go ahead.
You go ahead.
Hey, may God continue to bless you and your whole family, and we're going to keep getting some more education out there.
All right. I thank you for calling and engaging with us, CK, man. I'll see you on the next one, brother. I appreciate you.
Hey, man, like you said, time and a half. Go get that bread.
Go get that
Whatever
bread,
you
brother.
got to do. Double time and a half on them holidays. Yes, sir.
He was only off.
All right, brother. All right. You have a good day, man. Thanks for engaging with us. I got a little bit of that, folks. I don't know what the hell that other shit was. I mean, you know, you got to let CK rumble a little bit, because if you let him rumble, like he'll talk himself into something. You know, he'll talk himself into what he really meant to say. I don't know. I like I said, he said a few things a few times. I wasn't with him. I couldn't keep up. But then as he slowed down a little bit, I guess the end had something to do with the middle, because it never really has anything to do with the starting point. I promise you. I don't know. CK, nothing but love, brother. I appreciate you. I think that you have a genuine heart. I think you really do. I love the fact that you support. You do support, you know, you have your way of supporting the show and supporting people. But yeah, you just gotta pace him a little bit, because CK could go off on, you know, CK can go off on some other shit. I'm going to talk about something here before I go to the phone lines. I'm going to wet your beak about what I have. There's two things I want to run by people real fast. Isn't it funny? Have you guys seen the story about what's going on over in China? Ladies, you need to pay attention to this a little bit more than the men. I don't know how many of my women are, you know, on here, the ladies on here. I know we got some classy ladies. I know we got some high-end love fashion type women here on the show. And then you have some women that are like me. I don't really get into the fashion thing. I'm not one of them big Gucci shirt wearers, Gucci shoes, Gucci slipper type ass dudes, because I work for my money. Like, I can think of some better shit to do with my money than to be handing it to Gucci or Louis Vuitton. I don't really rock like that. But what I like to say, if you notice what's going on in China right now, they're starting to expose some things that are real. Okay. I've done business. I had a retail store. I was in the retail business 20 years ago. All right. And I did some business in China because what they had were things that I could buy blank items, jerseys, and do some custom jersey stuff. So I've had some dealings with some people over in China, never been to China, just bought goods from China and redid them like blank jerseys and made them into jerseys. This is in the era of when people love to wear jerseys. Okay. And so I was in the business of, you know, making custom jerseys for people who was doing music videos, all that type of stuff. We did tackle, twill, and stitching on jerseys. That all being said, I kind of understand how those factories move over there, because I was buying direct from a factory. And believe it or not, I used to buy from the same factory that made jerseys for the NFL, those Puma jerseys. I don't know if y'all remember, but Puma used to make all the jerseys for the NFL. Well, I used to buy from that same distributor, or that same manufacturer, excuse me. And I've been knowing for years that a lot of the high-end items, like the Gucci bags and Louis bags and all that, I've been knowing for years that a lot of them are actually manufactured in China, sent to Italy, repackaged, retaxed, and then shipped to the Gucci store, the Louis Vuitton store. If you've been watching what's going on with China and them guys getting upset about some things when it comes to the tariffs and stuff, they're actually starting to tell on their on their customers, because this is their way of punishing their customers for what's going on in the tariffs. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So what these manufacturers are doing, they're actually posting videos of them showing how they're actually making, all the way from the cardboard boxes all the way to the purses. They're selling these purses to Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton has been contracting this shit over to China. China's been making the Louis Vuitton purses for Louis Vuitton during the day, and at night they've been selling that same purse on the black market. They would make it for Louis Vuitton during the day, and then at nighttime, the night shift would come in and make that same purse and sell it on the black market. They would sell that same purse that you see retailed for 4 bands for $300. And if you're one of those guys that was dealing with these manufacturers like I was in the Puma, when Puma was doing those jerseys when they were making those jerseys for Puma, and you got to connect with the manufacturer direct, that same purse, I'm just going to use it how I know it because I have the sites, the links that I could still do it to this day. But I don't want to get into that business because it's not what I do. But that same purse, that's $300 that they sell on their website, I can buy it for $40 as long as I buy so many. It's the same thing that they selling. They manufacturing the same purse for Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Prada. I've been telling my wife, I'm just blessed that my wife don't really get into that type of stuff. Thank God. You know, like 4 bands for a purse. Damn, maybe, you know, I can get that motherfucker $40. You might have to get 3 or 4 of them. You know what I'm saying? I can get it for $40. I just want to know how you feel. See, I don't get into getting expensive items like superficial shit because it doesn't define me. I think, quite frankly, and I know there's some people on here that's not going to like what I'm about to say, but I have to say this, and this is going to make some of my sisters so angry. It's going to make some of my brothers so angry when I say this. Unfortunately, that's all marketing. Overpriced items are made for, this is gonna be touching because there's some people on here I love, and I know y'all got these, you got some of these vices. Take a drink for this one. Those things are set up. Keep in mind, I'm a victim too. I shouldn't say a victim. I'm guilty as well. I think high-priced items like that is meant for low self-esteem individuals. And I don't mean low self-esteem like you walking around here with your head down. I don't mean that you have low self-esteem to the point where you ain't, you know, like shame on you. I don't mean it like that. I mean it like people get high-priced item clothing and things, bags and superficial shit like that, big ass diamonds and shit like that. It don't do anything for you in life but make you feel successful. It has no purpose in life other than to make you feel like I can and you can't. Or I can, you can too, but I can too. And Americans are the largest consumers on the planet. High-priced, overpriced items. We've been on that shit for years, decades. That's what's been keeping us broke. That's the wealth gap right there. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you the true story because I've been around long enough and been absent from this job. When I graduated from college, my first job was at Metropolitan Housing in Cincinnati, Ohio. The projects. I grew up in the projects, so it ain't no big deal. I wanted to go there. Shit, I'd rather go downtown to Law Homes. That's where I really wanted to work. But unfortunately, I couldn't get in there. But now let me just say this to you. Let me tell you, I know this is gonna sound like I want black folks to be all dusty and shit, but that's not it. But I was responsible for doing inspections each year, different parts of the neighborhood. You go in, you make sure the electrical sockets. This is how I broke into the business before I got into the legal department there. I was doing inspections. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, I walked into some castles. I know that shit sound crazy. Motherfuckers don't have a garage, but they got a Benz sitting on 28s outside. And when you go in their apartment, do I sound like a hater? Because that shit don't make me feel like I'm losing out on nothing. All right. But I'd also go, and this is kind of like a flex for these folks, but at the same time, you got to wonder why you in certain financial situations. I'd go into some of these apartments and they got a big screen TV. Now, back in that day, big screen TVs was the shit. Like you can get big screen TV for $500 now. They had shit that'll fill up the whole wall with 3 gaming systems, big ass Kenwood speakers. You know what I mean? House is plush in the projects. Now, there's some people like, well, what you think? They ain't supposed to live good? Nah, I ain't talking about ain't living good. This was immaculate. House clean as hell. Let me tell y'all something, the misconception about being in the projects. There were more people who and there was some dirty shit now. There was some dirty shit. But I seen in my life more clean, immaculate apartments with Jordans and shit and polo shirts lined up, Jordans in the bum. Y'all hear me? Straight leg jeans everywhere in these apartments. I seen more clean shit than I seen dirty shit in these apartments. I be leaving out that motherfucker like I'm about to steal me something. I'm just saying. You know how back in our day we had all the you bought VHS tapes and shit. They had shit lined all up, videos lined up. I mean, people's cribs was immaculate living in the projects. Polo shit. I mean, expensive shit everywhere now. PSA. This ain't no hate. All of that shit might not have been bought out of Lazarus. It might not have been bought out of Swallens. We all know a lot of shit used to fall off the trucks back in the day. We get it. But you had the cash or the money. It wasn't that cheap. $1,000 TV you wasn't going to get for no $100 on the street. You was at least coming up off a half. It's the same way to these days, I'm assuming. I don't know. I don't deal with boosters. If shit say $100, you're going to pay $50 for it. But that all being said, man, I used to go through some apartments that had some of the highest class shit in it. I couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. And it wasn't me hating. It was like, damn, man, this is a lot. I told my nephew one time, if he watching this show right now, he going to be like, he going to say he remember this shit. He about 35 now, 40 now. He about 40. A little over 40, matter of fact. When I was a young man, I was an influence in his life. I'm sure I was because I was one of the men that was in his life. You understand? I remember when he was getting his first car. We was at his crib and he was like, you know, I need about 500 to put down on this car. Because, you know, most guys, that's where we from, our first car come from a buy here, pay here lot. We just want to roll. I don't give a fuck what color the car is. I don't care how old it is. I don't care nothing about it. All I want is a car that's going to get me to her house and it's going to have beat in it. Get me through the park and it's going to have beat in it. That's all we wanted. We don't give a shit. We'll clean it up. You ever seen a car that got rust all over it but shining? That was us. It had rust all over them, rust on the rim. We're going to find a way to make that one spot that got that clean spot. We're going to make that motherfucker clean spot right there. We're going to make it shine. Make it do what it do. But I told my nephew that one time when he was looking to buy his first car, he was like, I need about 500, man, so I can get down on this car. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to say no, but it's a lesson here to be learned as well, because this is a young man that used to had a fly as shit. I mean, he had every pair of Jordans. He had all the freshest little shirts and shit, all this old shit. He had everything. He had all the clothes. Wasn't really big into jewelry. But he had all that nice, good shit. One day I took him to his crib. I was like, listen, man, let's go to his mama's house. Took him to his mama's house where he lived. Dropped him off. I said, come on, let me show you something. Went to the crib, opened his closet up, looked on the floor. And I said, you see all them Jordans, all them tennis shoes and all that shit down there? There go your car right there. You could pay cash for a car with all those different shoes and all that designer shit in this closet. This is your car right here. See, this shit don't make you any money. Now, you know, me and him fell all the way out after that because people don't like to hear those type of messages. I'm a hater. I wasn't really telling him some, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit ain't cool, that ain't no cool way of living. I can't make it in this world with only 3 pair of Jordans, damn it. I need my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday Jordans. I need different Jordans for every day of the week, man. You a lame. You a lame. Now, you come into the lame to help you get some shit accomplished. You know what I'm saying? But the lame way of living ain't working for you. But you need the way that the lame lives in order to be accomplished for what you trying to do. Somebody make this shit make sense to me. Just told him the truth. Like, little bruh, here go your vehicle, your car is here on the ground. Your shoe, that's, bruh, you don't need a down payment. Damn it, you got enough to buy a whole car right here. The closet. He didn't want to hear that. He wasn't mad. I was just kind of exaggerating a little. He wasn't mad, but it's not cool to kind of, you know, tell somebody some shit when they think that the most that they have, the closet and the shit, that's the ego. That's the success. You tell them that they success don't really mean anything. You'll lose a motherfucker for life. You'll lose them for life telling them the truth. Then you become all this other shit, lame and all this old other shit. I still helped him. I still helped him get his car, but I think the message was, hey, let's be a little better in our selective and our choices and the things that we choose to prioritize to make us look successful. Because shoes don't make you a man. I was trying to get through, but y'all know he young. And I've been there. Denise, I've been there. Denise Davis, excuse me. We love the status of MCM, Deodora, Feli. I had all that shit. So I can't beat him up for making those choices. I had MCM from Europe. I lived in, look, if I got a video, I got a video and a still shot post. Senior skip day. Me and my boy Carvel from Detroit, Michigan, my best friend in the world. As in, he ain't from the sandbox. We met each other at 16, 17 years old. We were Midwest kids. He was from Detroit. I'm from Cincinnati. We Midwest over in Europe, and we rocking like Midwest dudes. He rocking the Detroit to the side, and I'm rocking the Cincinnati to the side. I got a red, black, and white MCM suit on senior skip day, and he got the Detroit Tigers MCM. I've been there. I understand. But I also understood that I was a fish on the hook. I was a fish on the hook. My priorities was how people thought of me, how rich I looked, how, all this superficial shit that meant absolutely nothing. I was a consumer of high-priced goods that they making in China. Not only am I overspending for some shit, I'm killing my own economy. I'm getting someone else rich by feeling rich. Now, I just ask you, ladies, let me ask you this. Would you rather have a bag that costs, I don't know, $59.99, $79.99, and had $4,000 in it? Or would you rather have a $4,000 bag that you paid for and have $50 inside of it? I had to start asking myself questions like that. I never carry bags, but that would be the relevant. I just want to direct that question to the people that think that it's cool to be grabbing $5,000, $6,000 bags. How much money you got in that bag? That's probably the bad question, because, when you're trying to make a point, when you're trying to get a point across to some people, they find something to be mad at or try to discredit what you say. I'm learning. Now me making my point It goes from the solid point I'm trying to make to everyone to the why you worried about how much money somebody got in their bag. Y'all know them type of people. They don't really want to have a conversation about the right or the wrong. They now want to shift focus on what you said. Man, you don't know. Maybe they got $4,000 in that $4,000 bag. I doubt it. I doubt it. I just say we got to look back on some of them things when we start talking about wealth gap. I had a cousin, not really my cousin, it's cousin through marriage. So I could say what I want to say, right? She needed $130 every month to help her with her rent. Some of y'all didn't heard this story before. Every month or every other month. Cuz, I need $72.50 this month. Can you get me $130? She needed some money every month for at the end of the month. She'd ask all her little cousins and my wife's sisters and all that old shit. And she out at every club. Mr. Kelly's all the way up to what's the one that to Skippers, to all them shits. Every weekend and on special nights. Tuesday is the cheap drink night. She there. Thursday is the get buy half off wing night at the club. Whatever the fuck it was, she was there. She had on the nice glasses, the Liz Claiborne. She had on everything that was funky fresh, dressed to impress, ready to party. She was at every spot. She looked fresh every night at the club. Prime time. Oh, she was the freshest thing in the world. Guys was all at her. But always needed some money at the end of the month for her rent. We all know somebody like that. I know I ain't the only one that know nobody that dusty. That's the difference between the wealth gap. Priorities. Knowing, being around people who know what to do with $4 grand. That's the difference. We can admit it if we want to. And then when I get in the Wyatt Live Messenger group and I say, hey, we got some issues going on, not issues, but we got some things going on. I want everybody to kind of look at this stock right here. Look, everybody been hollering for years. Well, I've been hollering for years how expensive Kroger's is. You can't go in Kroger's without spending $100. 3 little plastic ass, raggedy ass bags, and you just spent $100 on some light shit. You know what I'm saying? Some don't even pay it any attention. Some agree and be like, yeah, that shit crazy, man. I just spent $200 and I ain't really had nothing. I can relate to that too. But when I get in the Wyatt Live Messenger group and I say, hey, look, stocks fell this week. This stock right here, I've been studying for a while. Now, I'm just a regular dude that just do what I do is just a regular study of what I do. I'm not a professional or any of that stuff. I just do what works for me. And I told everybody that I buy the stocks. The first stock that I ever bought in my life or that I stick to in life are things that I use on a day-to-day basis. It would be ridiculous for me to have a Verizon phone and not have stock in Verizon. It would be ridiculous for me to be on Meta platform right here and not have stock in Meta. It would be ridiculous for me to wear Nike tennis shoes and I'm sorry, and I'm mad that I have Nike stock because it's been taking a beating for 4 years. It's less than half its value, but it's been losing forever. Nikes don't sell like they used to. Not the real ones. And that's not a reflection of the stock when all these fake ones are being sold. It hurts the stock. That all being said, I put it in the Wyatt Messenger group. I believe Kroger stock is at its low right now. It's not going to go any lower. It wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense. So what I did is I made a proposal to everybody. I said, not a proposal, an introduction. I said, look, everybody, put $50 in this stock right here. Let's have fun. Let's have fun. Put $50 in it today. tomorrow, whatever. The response that I got, I ain't losing my money. I ain't doing none of that shit. See, that's okay. I wasn't looking. Look, here, I come from a world where if I don't have anything good to say about it, I'm going to leave it alone. If somebody look, do y'all know how many people put shit in Wyatt Live Messenger group and I say absolutely nothing? Because I ain't got nothing good to say about it. So I just leave it alone. I let it float. So all you guys that put shit in the Wyatt Live Messenger group, if you think that the reason why I didn't say anything is because I'm a hater or whatever, that ain't it. I don't mean I agree with what you said. I just ain't got time to be all Mr. Negative about the shit. Hold on. I got an announcement from my sis. Alethea says, Cruz is woke, Wyatt. He did great. Thanks so much for the talk. No problem, sis. Still call me. Call me tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. And I'm going to tell you something. In about 6 weeks, 8 weeks, those little things will fall out his ear in the bathtub. Y'all won't even know. But you're welcome, sis. Anytime. Y'all know I got you. Tell bro I said what's up. None but love over here. That little Cruz something different, boy. He looked like he about 12 now? That outfit he had on, he looked 13. I'm just saying. They be dressing that little boy. That little boy be looking like he going to the 7th grade. I'm just playing. Donnie had him dressed up one time. He looked like he was in the 60s. Like he had him on with the little, that was the flyest outfit I've ever seen. When he dressed up like the older dudes, like he had the little Kango on to the side, not the LL Cool J Kango, but the motherfucking Beanie Siegel from the 60s. That Kango, I love that outfit on him with the vest. Oh yeah. If I had a newborn, knock on wood. If I had some new shit today, like new kids today, if I had a new child and it was a little boy, y'all call him Lucky Luciano. I dress his ass up with the shoes that go up in the, I dress him up like he was back in the 60s. Y'all be tripping off me. I love it. My wife don't like a lot of my suits. I'm not going to stand on this. I'm just going to say this. My wife don't like, she loved my Tom Fords because they're straight. Usually, I don't know how many of you guys follow this type of shit, but I'm a suit guy, okay? I love to have my suits fit a certain way. That's the only reason why I'm in the suits, because I need them to fit a certain way and because of the way I'm built. But I'm not into solid colors. That I like patterns. If y'all understand what I'm saying, I'm a pattern suit guy. That makes me an old soul. I love pattern suits. I love the Luciano days. I like that. That's just me. So I loved it when Lil Cruz had on the little, he looked like the paper boy though. Y'all know what I'm talking? Remember the extra, read all about it and throw the newspaper. He looked like one of them kids when he had that suit on, but I love it. That'll give you, picture that. Remember back in the day, 40s and the 50s, the newspaper boy? That's what he looked like in his suit. He was so precious. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. We got somebody that's been holding. Let me see where we at with it. Hold on one second. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Wyatt?
Hey, what's going on? Twin, what's good, brother?
I can't call.
You okay?
I want to say prayers to I said a prayer for Alethea.
Oh, we good. She good now. She just said he woke up. It looked like everything gravy. Looked like he good.
That's a blessing, you know.
Absolutely.
Twin love the kids, man.
Absolutely.
And everything, that's a blessing.
Yes.
Why you talked about these young kids.
Yes.
Earlier. You know, we used to have leaders everywhere around the world in the hood, Wyatt, to, you know, educate us or whatever, or give us some guidance on some instruction.
Okay.
Structure on stuff, regardless of situation.
Okay.
But they took that out and give us a little Kid Cudi or somebody, a little Nas X.
What?
And replace
the rapper?
That. Yeah. They gave us some gay people to listen to and perform after. Okay. They gave us that. But y'all want to take away the real leaders and whatever. That's why it's up to you, man. Whether you're a hustler or whatever. And I don't knock nobody for, you know, doing their thing. whether you selling lemonade, dope, or whatever.
Oh, I knock dope
That's what
dealers.
that's your mind. No, that's your mind. That's up to you. Whatever for you, if you want to do, you know what's behind it, right? What comes with the territory after.
What comes for
If
the
you go,
territory for the person
if
that's
you
selling the
go
dope?
keep juking, either you go keep juking or you go do some jail time.
Okay.
I would never knock no man hustle regardless. You selling that ass, whatever you doing, lady out there, OnlyFans page, whatever. I can't knock your hustle.
Okay.
Look at what you call. I was looking at the other day. I probably sent to you in the chat. Remember them little girls on Bernie Mac, Little Mama and the other one. She said she was so broke. Now she on OnlyFans page. Why she made $900,000 within a week? Just off pictures, man.
Mm-hmm. You talking
That's
about the
crazy.
little girl from Bernie Mac?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I
Yes.
seen
Yes.
that in the post.
Yes. And I'm like, dang. Maybe I need to get on there and just show my chest or arms or something.
I don't want to disappoint you, brother, but you probably, myself, either one of us, we probably can't get on and make that kind of money.
Why can't we can't?
All right.
Man, I get on there and perform like I'm a stripper or something.
Yeah.
The ladies go, they got to buy something, right?
Yeah. You might.
That girl got on there. I'm like, 900,000 a week.
She's a springboard. She has a springboard, though. I'll just be honest. I'm not gonna. I don't want.
I know.
She's a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff. Like you and I be on there, bro. I wouldn't make $35. I can guarantee you that. You see what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. I mean, I can't even get people. But I have the facts to back that up, though. I'll tell you. Whenever I put something out on as a post, I don't get much love for it. I got 7,000 something people as a Facebook friend. If I put a post on, I can't even get a decimal of a percentage of people to like it. You see what I'm saying? Positive stuff. Now, if I post a fight on my page, I'll get 3,000 views. But if I tell somebody, hey, this is about to come on, I'm about to do this, this is about to go, let's get this work in, let's do this, anything positive, I don't get a lot of reaction. Like, people don't really rock with me like that. You know what I'm saying? They really like the things that are not meant for them. People love that space.
Well, I can agree with your buddy.
Who?
The homie Emmanuel, man.
What about?
Because Emmanuel said, even though we don't, agree with everything, why we gotta bash people, right? Like go against one another, even though we don't agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he said it earlier in the chat. I was looking at it, and like you said, man. You get, man, you'd be surprised, man, if you go on how many people viewed your page or whatever. Mm-hmm. Facebook got it out there. I sit back and then people just think I'm dumb, stupid, don't know nothing, but I just sit back in the cut and let it be. I'm like, for you not to like that man or like that person, why is you viewing their page? You call them a bitch, stupid, dumb, you suck ass nigga, you coon, all that shit. But you look at their page though, but you don't like me. Well, it's something about you that I must, entertain you about. What is it? My voice, my looks, my swag? But you don't like me, nigga.
Well, I don't think it's always
faking the scene like it is what it is. Fuck that nigga, fuck that bitch and all that. But you the same nigga that goddamn been watching my page for 50 goddamn times.
So that means so let me just say this.
Female, whatever.
Well, let me just say this about what you said before I lose my train of thought. I generally think that people, it's not that they don't like the person. I just think that people who pay attention to people that they claim they don't like, I think there's some type of I don't even want to say jealousy, because it's not always jealousy. I just think that some people look for a place where they fit in, and they feel like talking bad about you or me or anybody else, that might put them in a place where other people will accept what they're saying because they know the room that they in. Like, you got to be able to read the room. If you're talking bad about somebody that everybody love, how well is that going to work out for you? But if you're talking bad about somebody that nobody really cares about, then, you probably can get away with that. And you could probably sound smart. You could probably sound like you really onto something. But if you notice that nobody comes on and says anything bad about people that everybody has good feelings for. You understand what I'm saying? It takes somebody to like that's. I mean, I know that's an obvious statement, but it's an obvious fact that you can see happen. That's what's happening right now. Like people, look, I respect people that are consistent with what they say. I don't have to agree with it, but I sure in the hell ain't looking for all their inconsistencies every day. I would never go to somebody's page or look for them to say something and then make the announcement to everybody else what somebody said. Those people aren't paying attention to me. I'm not paying attention to those people. I'm just using me as an example. I just don't do shit like that. And I think there's some people that need other people for them to be relevant. They don't need themselves to be, they can't do nothing out of their own strength to be relevant. They have to use somebody else's energy in order to be relevant themselves. I can respect anybody that put anything on their page and they consistent with what they saying. I don't have to agree with what they saying, but I can respect the fact that they consistent in what they say. But
you see how grown you said that? You see how a grown man you said that? A grown life hood, you just said that. But my thing is this: if you don't agree with me, what I'm saying, okay, let it be. But why you gotta go against because you don't like me, but that person more recognizable than me? You like that person? That it's weirdos to me today, man. This shit got soft to me, man.
Well,
these new news out here, these new whatever people, grown people, man, they got soft. Just because you don't agree with person. Remember back in the day when we used to agree with person, man, go ahead, man, you punk face, man, you out here stunning and all that purple and all that, man. Show goof ass on. We agree and let it be. But now, man, you don't know what you're talking about. They like that person more than they like you, but I've been rocking with you since day one. Just because he got a Bentley, a big house, that don't mean nothing. I never been a type of nigga that nigga got this and all that. Just bring it back to what you said a little while ago. That Chinese thing. In terms and that, man, that been going on for years. Just like remember back in the day, why them Coogee sweaters, man. They get them over there for $40. Send them over here. What we were racking up $200-300 for the Coogee sweater.
Well, I've been trying to tell my people. I've been trying to tell my people for a long time, twin.
Man, they don't listen. Why?
I'm a hater,
remember
bro.
going back to New York, getting a boat. People get from the Midwest, go to New York. Get it from Chicago, get it down to Chicago, Detroit, shoot it down to Memphis somewhere. But now we go to New York. Hey, we get it by the low, man. That's how it is. But man, people just don't understand. China just put you up on game, and let me take you to Trump.
Oh, geez.
He putting all. No, I'm about to flex this right quick to shut these people up, man. He putting us all up on game, man. That's all he doing. So you can't get mad for what that nigga uncovered. He putting y'all on game. Then he's sending a message to y'all. Or that wake the hell up. I mean, we gotta go through things. We gonna go through trials and tribulations, but at the end, we go be defeated. But every day, listen to Trump this, and all that, remix and all that. Ain't got a strategy or a book to write it down, say, hey, this how we go strategize, this how we go landslide this for our community, whatever. You got people gangbang on the meat market and all that. Hey, what EBT card and all that. Man, you ain't been getting no EBT. What you worry about it? Just get your meat and get on. The man just started the business. If you don't like it, go now. He got EBT running down the Philly market. You don't like it. Man, people weirdos out here,
okay,
man.
Twin, that was
That's
a lot.
how I see it.
What you said something about EBT? What? EBT? What?
At the meat market, man, people was gangbang. I don't know if you was listening to the radio and other situation that's going on.
Not exactly, no.
No, you probably want to listen on the Lincoln Ware show. People, the man just got started at the thing and they gang banging on him why the EBT system not running, and he explained it, why it's not running and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so, man, I don't know why. Why your boy fumble that trophy like that?
What do you mean?
J.D. Vance fumbled that Ohio State trophy.
Okay, I was thinking basketball last night.
I said, oh, Lord, bad luck. Why? You see your boy get out, man, the young kid.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. You want to say something about that?
Hey, I think it's a good purpose. You know, you go get blowback from, you know, the harassment.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
People.
We're talking about the young kid, Carmelo Anthony.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, look, his bond was reduced from $1 million to 250,000, which I don't know why people think 250,000 is just like that's some type of like, that's not a small ass bond. All right, that's a big bond to make as well. But look, bonds are not supposed to be put in place to punish people. This young man has not been found guilty of any charge. He's been accused of murder. But a bond is not supposed to hold you in jail unless you're a threat to the community or a threat to others, other people. It's not supposed to be used as a tool for it's not supposed to be something that they use as a tool to make you guilty already. Okay, the difference between, I'll give you a perfect example. The difference between this young man and someone like Diddy can't get out on bond because Diddy has influence. Diddy's a much more influential individual than this young man. He's not facing murder either. This young man is facing murder. Diddy can't get out on bond. This young man can because this young man does not have a criminal background. And a lot of people don't understand that bonds are set up on schedules. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how many people know this, but this young man qualifies for a smaller bond because he's less threat to the community. I know he's facing a serious charge of murder, but he fits in the schedule of being able to get a bond reduction, mainly because of his family support. And he's a student. He's a good student from my understanding, but he doesn't pose a threat. Okay, he can't go anywhere. He's on home incarceration. I don't understand what the big problem is. People go from $1 million bond to a $500,000 bond to a $250,000 bond or $100,000 bond. A lot. That's not an uncommon thing. So I don't know what the big problem is. I think this young man has bigger fish to fry at beating the case. And I can't speak on the case because I don't have any real information. I have social media information. I have what people talking about, but I don't have any real information of what happened that day. I don't know. I haven't heard of one actual witness come forward and say anything. So I don't know what happened.
Did you look into the artistic case when the police shot that?
No, I haven't seen that, bro. I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen it. I tried to find it that day you told me about it.
Oh, I thought you looking, but that wasn't justifiable to me.
You're gonna have to send in the group, send the situation like what, so I can try to Google it and try to find what I'm looking for. I couldn't put in, I put in what I put in. I couldn't find anything about it. It took me all the way back to like 2017 and stuff like that. I couldn't find anything. I tried.
Oh, what? You need to sit down for a minute and, do some research or something. Because it should have popped up on you got an iPhone, an i20 or Samsung or something?
I have an iPhone.
Should have popped up.
I have an iPhone. Maybe I put in the wrong thing. Like I said, Twin, send me the information. Maybe I plugged it in wrong. I'm sure if it's out there to pop up, especially on YouTube or something. There's a story. If you read something somewhere, then it probably got on internet, like on the YouTube somewhere out there, and I can look for it.
Now, when I looked at the video and the way his on whoever grabbed him before he charged at the officer.
I tell you what, right? Let me ask you something. Have you seen the video locally in Cincinnati of the young 15-year-old that just shot the man up?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think what we need to do is pay attention to our local stuff.
It's so sad. Dude was just on the news and he was talking about, a positive situation. And I didn't even know that was him until they showed the video. And then he was standing right there. I guess he was saying something to him, and the young boy hauled off and just shot the man. And I think he yanked back at him and everything. And because the young boy was limping. I think dude got a shot off because he was limping back. Yeah, but
I got the video.
They remind me of the hood, man. And everything, any hood I've been to, they post up at the store and man, these little shorties out there on Man, they on dummy, man.
See, I
and
think
it's a
it's
shame,
important.
man.
I think
And
it's
let me tell you something.
okay.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right quick. Important. This Eugene talking. Look, man, I know street codes and I know this and that, Wyatt, right? Let me tell you, man. They say you live by the sword, you die by the sword. Why? When you mess around and everything, you it was three situations. One dude got killed last week in Wind Terrace. Prior to that, a couple of days before that, one guy got shot. Now he paralyzed. Another dude brain dead. Let me tell you this on the situation. When you playing with the streets like that, when you robbing somebody and everything for so many long time, you get away 20, 30 years. When you kill a person, you get away with the 20, 30 years, and you holler, my son was this, my son was that. He trying to turn his life around and everything else. He was a good person. And you want to cry to the community, rest in peace and wear your bandanas and all that. We go wear the color blue or red at the funeral. No. I don't engage in nothing like this because I know what it is. See, when you're playing with the streets, when you shooting at somebody else or you robbing somebody else, you think you go get away with this, man? It's gonna catch up with you regardless. So I feel sorry for the family or whatever y'all going through, but I really don't. Sorry, but not sorry. You
Which
knew how you
family
was
you referring
robbing
to?
people.
Which?
You knew how
Oh, okay.
you
Okay,
killed
I
the
got it.
person. You knew how you did this. No, hell to the no. I hate to say it. That's my
Well,
life and
look,
that's my
I
belief.
guess let me just say this. I agree with you, twin. There's some people probably bouncing off the walls trying to figure out what the hell going on. But I think what happens is maybe they don't know what we're talking about. So let me just lay it out a little bit.
I'm gonna break it down dummy terms.
Okay.
It was a murder in Wind Terrace. Y'all watched the news last week.
Terrace, that one. Okay.
It was a murder last. I know the person. I know, dude.
Okay.
It was a shoot prior to that, a couple of days for that. A guy got beat in the head. Now he fight for his life on life support.
Okay.
Later on that day, a guy, used to, do his thing. He got shot in the back. Now he paralyzed. But let me tell you this. When you scream and holler, my son was a good Division I basketball player. My daughter this, my son this, he won't harm nobody. But you don't know your son. See, you know what they in the house, but you don't know what they doing in the street. And then and let me tell you, right, you might get down to, doing your dirt back in 20, 30 years. But if you ain't living right and got a mindset of living by God, whatever, it's going to catch up with you, man. You're going to reap what you sow. Karma and all that, that's in the definition of get right, act right. That's all that's in the pot, man. Cook it up and let the ingredients flow up in there. That's all it is, man. And people don't realize. I believe whatever, if I did something, twin did something wrong, I know it's go back on me. It's my fault. I got to held accountable for what I did in my own action back in the day, now, whatever in the future. I'm held accountable for what I did. So anything that come my way on the negative side, man, I did rob that person. I did give him some bad dope. I did some bogus, you did and all that. I got to understand and held accountable for that. And people don't realize when they face the fact like, man, why they did them like that, man? Why ain't doing like that? Now, come on, Charlie. This what this the street like. This is what he chose to be like. He wanted to be in the street. When I tried to educate him about, hey, man, this ain't about that, man. You're not about that, man. You're a football player. You're a doctor, man. You're a lawyer. But you chose this. And this what you chose, this what you go get. You either go do this time or there's a Walker funeral home somewhere around the corner, Spring Grove, waiting for you. It's two choices you got to make in life. You either go to where three, go home, jail, or there's a cemetery waiting for you, player.
Yeah, but you
Come
know what?
man.
Here's the problem that I have with that. When you're around that type of stuff, bro, innocent people are
monkey see, monkey do.
No, wait a minute, hold on. All those things that you're talking about, and those people.
Monkey see, monkey do. What? Why? You got 15-year-old what?
Wait a minute,
man, come on, why?
F
you, why? You ain't my dad. You don't know tell me what to do.
Okay, look.
F you, nigga.
Right, but those type of people tend to affect innocent people as well. Like for instance, the 15-year-old that just got shot and he killed somebody. He's a 15-year-old with a gun who had probably, just based on his record, had no business out on the streets. He's 15 years old, and y'all might want to go do your research, but there's a reason why they're not having real conversations about your own neighborhoods and your own cities. Everything else is more important than what's going on your own stomping grounds and on your own dirt. But that being said, pay attention to how I've been saying it on this platform for years. Pay attention who they're allowing back out on the streets, because when they dump people back out on the streets, they go to the same areas and same neighborhoods that they got in trouble in, and they around them same circles, and nothing ever gets better. So it's a revolving door. It's a revolving door of nonsense. That being said, that 15-year-old that just shot that young man had no business with a gun. He had no business being out here, to be honest with you. And what happens, twin, is this: that other guy was an innocent person who happened to have a gun, and he's registered to have a gun. This is what they said on the news. I got the clip right here.
Yeah.
He is getting robbed by a group of 15, 16-year-olds, and they then tried to rob the wrong one, because this guy had a gun on him. And when you robbing somebody, you don't expect them to have a gun. And if you do, look, now this is self-defense in the right meaning of self-defense. If someone has a gun and they point a gun at you, twin, and you have a gun on you and you pull it out and you shoot first, that's self-defense. You're defending yourself. Equal combat interaction. You understand what I'm saying? So, but these 15-year-olds are out here doing this shit to people, and they're not looking for that blowback that's coming. And in this particular case, this 15-year-old ran into somebody that had a gun that was giving him what he served. And unfortunately, the 15-year-old shot this young man, the other guy, and killed him. The 15-year-old got shot as well. The other group of guys, I don't know if they're being charged or not, but we got to pay attention to what our 15-year-olds are out here doing. We got to pay more attention to that. I mean, just think about, why is this guy up in Clifton, up by the University of Cincinnati, robbing people, arm robbing them with a gun? I mean, that there has to be troubles. We have to really have those type of conversations. Why is that going on? And that's not just going on. The victim happened to be white this time, but everybody on this platform know that our little brothers and sisters that are innocent, that's 15 and 16 years old, with a nice jacket on or a little few dollars in their pocket, they getting robbed just like the little dude, the white dude did. They getting robbed just like that. And nobody's talking about that type of stuff, bro. And I think a real serious conversation needs to be held about, like, what's going on.
Exactly, man. You got these community leaders and everything else. Only thing I think, and it's sad, man. It's sad that black folks and everything, why that every day we got to talk about Trump remix. But you're not talking about what's really going on. Not a damn soul out there, because I rock with Wind Terrace, man. I stayed out there. I got people out there. My sister and everybody, cousins out there. And I'll be out there, you know, maybe 2-3 days a week or whatever. But I'll be knowing what's going on in the hood. What's up, Sam? Oh, I can't post. Niggas be wanting me to post up at, what I'm going to post up at the stove for? I feel like I'm back at home in the shack. I ain't going to post up on no block. And I know I'm not supposed to post up in Chicago because they going to put a pack on me. So I'm not about to post up because y'all niggas be going against guys from Avondale, Westwood. I don't know who going to come up here and shoot y'all. So I don't post up in there, but ain't no community leaders and all. It's been, since this year, man, it's been 4-5 murders in Wind Terrace. Not one person said anything about it.
Well,
how
no,
we go?
Wait a minute, hold on. I said the same thing, that nobody said anything about it, and then I got
nobody.
Hold on. I got some blowback for that. But let me explain. When I say nobody's bringing it up, I don't mean that nothing ever was said. I'm talking about a conversation. There's a difference between bringing something up and having a conversation and talking about it versus having a full blown out conversation and making it a scheduled conversation. You see what I'm saying? Like, what's going on? Bring the police chief in. See, here's the problem. I'll be honest with you and tell you, I don't know how many people are going to take this one for what it's worth, but your police chief in the city of Cincinnati don't really want to have that type of conversation because she's afraid that she's going to step on the wrong toes. City council sure in the hell ain't going to have this type of conversation because they're afraid they're going to step on the wrong toes. Now, your police chief nor your city council can stop 15-year-olds from being what they doing. They can't stop it, but they can hold certain people accountable for what these people's children are out here doing. You can do something about it. Look, man, you got a curfew in the city of Cincinnati that they don't even they don't even.
No damn curfew.
Well, yes, it is. There's a curfew, but they don't.
It's a curfew. They don't acknowledge that, man.
Well,
back in the day, Wyatt, do you remember back in the day? Hey, your son was out here. We used to get home and we get a whooping, Wyatt. Back in the day, being out there late. When that street light come on, you better be in there. What my daddy you say?
Well,
don't let that door darken the door. I say darken the door. Meaning don't let that sunlight get. Don't let that darkness hit you.
Yeah, well,
that's what he mean by that.
I get it, but you can't whoop kids today like we used to get whoopings.
No. They go whoop you with a gun.
Yeah, what I'm saying to you is this: if you have implemented a curfew in your city, but you don't live by it, then you're part of the problem. Sorry, I said what I had to say about that. All I'm saying to you is if you got 15 and 16-year-olds that should be in the house on a school night and they're not implementing the curfew, the city or whoever's in charge, then I have to question why, because everybody don't know this, but some people know this. There are kids down on the banks or whatever that is down there on the river and all that little park and all that after hours, after curfew. And people know that they're there and they're not forced to go home. They don't take them to 2020. They don't do any of that. So if they're not doing that, then why aren't you upholding the laws, the curfew laws? What? I don't get it. And then when the 14, 15-year-olds are out here getting in trouble, we looking at them, but they have a playground of this nonsense. They have a playground out here to be like that. I don't understand why
and the police right there, man. They right there. But you know what? They too busy got their hand on their hip looking at the girl. Man, I'll peep everything, man. Twin be down there. I'll be seeing Shorty. I'll call old girl. I'm like, man, hey, Shorty, hey, get your son, man. He out here wrecking. And she said, he what? He called him and all that. And then I seen him. I said, I don't want to call your mom, man. Don't do that. Your mama beat the brakes. And I know your mom. He said, good looking, fam, good look. Because you was wrong for what you doing. Jumping on them, fuck you, white boy. No, don't do that, man. I know your mom, because she see your ass. She go check your ass. Don't do that, man.
Well, look,
get down here and have some fun.
Twin, there's some truth to what you're saying there. I'm not suggesting all of it is true, but some of it is true in this sense. There are some parents, man, let's be real. I ain't going to sit up here and say all parents bad parents when their kids hit these streets. I'm not suggesting that.
I ain't want to go to 2020 because I know.
Wait, let me finish.
Go ahead, player. Go ahead, player.
There are kids out here that leave the house that act totally different in the home than they do when they outside. Okay. And some parents just don't get it. I think parents don't want to believe it because, you can tell if your kid out here doing some crazy shit or they got on some expensive clothes or they acting a certain way or they hanging with certain people. You can tell what direction your child going in if you really paying attention. If you really engaged in your kid's life, if they out here in these streets ripping and running. Now, that's not to say that you got a good kid living in your house and the kid go to the skating rink on a Friday night, Saturday night, and get into it with somebody from school that ain't, that kid don't have the same family support that your kid has. Your kid could still end up in some street shit. All right, because maybe they just knocking heads. Social media opens all that up right now because you got to look at the fact that these kids might not know each other, but they know each other. These days, kids are on social media so much, they know people that don't know them. You know what I'm saying? Like people know you and they don't like Twin. There's people that know Twin, but they wouldn't know you if they seen you walking down the street. And exactly. but in social media, these kids might go to Withrow, but they know all the kids over at Woodward because they all interact through social media. So they can have beef without even being out in the streets. All right. So I'm not suggesting that all parents who kids get into certain situations, that all these parents are trash. I'm talking about the parents that know your kid out here in these streets because you didn't pick him up from 2020 6 or 7 times in 1 year. By the fact that he don't come home at night. Because he's a little disrespectful to you. Because you ain't even engaged in your kid's life. You don't know if he coming home tonight or not. You know when your kid out here doing shit. But here's the problem. We don't have anybody really going after those parents, holding them accountable. Now, I might be off page. I might be off base on that. because I don't know all the court cases that's going on. I don't know people who are neglecting their kids and they might be facing some type of case or something. I don't know all of that. But if you look at the situations of the streets right now, you look at the kids that are ripping and running in the streets, the lack of family home support is a common denominator amongst them all. Go ahead, Twin. I'm going to let you close us out, bro. Go ahead. What you got to say? I got 30 seconds.
No, I ain't got nothing else. I think I covered all the bases and everything else, man. We need to just come together, man, off that, quit focusing on that Trump issue and everything, see where we can strategize
well,
on
for
this,
the
man.
record, Twin, for the record, because you're on Wyatt Live right now, no one said anything about Trump but you.
That's all right. I'm just bringing it up.
But we wasn't talking about, nobody said anything about Trump. Matter of fact, we ain't saying nothing about politics, but I'm just letting you know, like, as long as you don't bring it up, it might not even be mentioned.
I know people get mad and everything. Like, you don't bring up Trump and all that 9 and 1 and all that. I understand all that. But that's all I've been hearing. I guess I got to stay on that.
Well,
or whatever. I can fade away from it, but it just, y'all get this puppy show of Jasmine Crockett and everything and think it's okay, but which is not. And because she don't get no thrive out of me. I just look at her like she said, what is she talking about? And then she don't excite me or whatever. She thriving for the Democrats. She got a voice. She ain't got no voice. She's just loud and saying nothing.
Okay.
So that's how I look at it, man.
For each his own, bro. There's an audience for everybody. Just like people say the same shit about me. They say the same thing about me, Twin. What you just described in Jasmine Crockett, they say the same thing about me.
But one thing, if you don't agree with a person, you don't agree. Let it be. Let's move on to the next.
And that's exactly how I feel.
You ain't got to bash a person just because you don't like. Just because a person, Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever, right, left, or up, down, middle, whatever. You don't agree. You don't agree. Player, let it be. But no, you corny nigga, you a Trump's lover, man. Okay, man. Okay. Just because I don't get on the bandwagon, y'all, don't like what I say and everything else, it is what it is. But I'm not about to be no sucker for love just because she black or this and all that. She not speaking my same language. She not addressing the issue that I want to see or whatever the people might want to see. She not talking about neither that person, the man, the other guy not talking about. So why would I just jump on them because man, she speaking the truth. She thinking, y'all don't give us nothing. Y'all talking about education and all that. Why? They don't give us no real education. Only thing they been giving us talking about slavery. Only slave name or whatever name we know is what? Dr. Martin Luther King. They don't talk about how much we invented it. We started this stoplight. We started these fans of air conditioning, greens, tomatoes, and beans and all. We started. You know what? Why they put us in a field? They put it in a plantation field. They put us up in there because we were bored as hell from sun up to sundown. We got bored, just like sitting and enjoying in solitary confinement and everything. We got bored. Okay, I'm gonna see how this peanut butter tastes. I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna see what this cotton go do to heal these wounds, these Band-Aids. Matter of fact, I'm gonna see how this light bulb go light up. They don't talk about the real, but they want to keep giving up. Well, Martin Luther King did this and all. That's the only thing y'all got to talk about, Luther King. Let's talk about the other inventions that happened in America, man. I'm tired of that Martin Luther King shit. Come on, man, keep it real with the education. Y'all see why you get rid of education, because y'all don't keep it real. You can talk about something real, how we started this shit. Don't talk about no Martin Luther King.
Hold on, Twin. Let me just say this, man. I really got to go because I'm up against the break. I've been wanting to say that for a long time. Let me just say this to you, brother. Nothing's stopping you from carrying on those narratives. You call this show, you call other shows. I know you call E-Man show. I don't know how many other shows you call.
I can't crash out on 2 of y'all shows. I got 4 shows.
It ain't a matter of crashing out. What I'm telling you is this, bro. Instead of whatever, bro. What I'm trying to tell you, just here, listen one time. All I'm trying to tell you is this, bro. What you just said is beautiful. You just made announcements of some achievements that we have had as people. Instead of crashing out on the shit that you crash out on, those are your words. Why don't you come in those conversations and say, hey, look, I know this ain't what we was really talking about, but did you know that such and such invented peanut butter and we did this and we did that? And there's people on this platform right now that do shit like that. Like, and I respect it. I might not agree with everything. I might agree with some of it or whatever. But they at least, they don't let people control the narrative of what they want to, like how they want to feel for the day. And you can't let that energy like bring, like what you, bro, the only reason why people talk about certain things is because you might say something about it or bring it up when in fact you can control whatever you really want to talk about. You don't have to talk about what somebody brought up. Shit, ask CK about that shit. We be talking about the birds or something. I was talking about, I ain't said nothing about whales in an hour and a half. When CK called, the whole narrative changed from what I was really talking about whales. I'm sure people still wondering why I want to be a whale or what's relevant to my life to a whale. He ain't even listening. You ain't even listening. Listen to this motherfucker right here. I'm talking to y'all.
I'm talking about my baby, man.
All right, twin, I gotta go, man. I'm up against
I heard
the
what
hour,
you're
bro.
saying, though.
I gotta go, though, bro. I'll holler
info.
at you tomorrow, man. I gotta go, though. All right, peace, man. Peace to you. Nothing but love. Thanks for engaging with us. I gotta go. The reason why I want to be a whale in life is because the whale lives amongst the open. I mean, it's the largest. It lives in the largest tank. More water on this planet than there is land. And the whale can swim around and learn all this different stuff from different places, all this different culture. The whale can do it all. So I want to live as a whale. I want to open myself up to learn more and know more. Let me go to this last final call, man. I got a minute and a half, but I got to go. Thanks for calling, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, ain't that a kick in the dick? I only get an hour and a half after all that bullshit he was spitting and CK was spitting?
Bro, I promise, man. And I rock with you. It's just I'm up against the time. You know what I'm saying?
Cut them niggas off then, quicker. If you gonna come to the last call, be like, you only got a minute.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did you call while he was on the phone?
I called while he was on the phone, yes. That whole 45 minutes he was waiting to even get to his call.
Come on, man. I just seen that long he was on the phone. He wasn't on the phone 45 minutes. But that all being said, what's on your mind, bro?
No, while he was waiting to talk to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. What was I gonna talk about? Because now you done chat my ass.
No, I didn't.
Couple things. Yes, you did. Couple things. About the young brother in Texas.
Yes.
How do you not know about that? Or do not know the facts of it? Because when that hobo got killed on the train in New York, you was like, yeah, love that white man for doing that shit. I'm tired of these unruly Negroes, blah, blah, blah. He shouldn't be executed. He shouldn't be in jail. None of that. You was all for that white man.
No, I wasn't.
For killing that, for killing that hobo
you on some bullshit.
Just simply made people uncomfortable.
You on some bullshit today. Because that was not
I'm
my
not
take.
on no bullshit. That is
no,
what
you on some bullshit. I know what you're doing.
We're not rewriting narratives.
I know what you're doing, but that's cool. I was talking about what I seen on video. Don't we have different circumstances in this between what we seen and what we seen in the video with the young man who's claiming self-defense?
I'm talking about in Texas.
No, I know. But what I'm saying to you is, are there different circumstances in what we see and what we hear between the guy on the subway and between the little young guy down in Texas?
Yeah, in actuality,
okay. One, there's a video of the action.
Let me show you what the difference is.
Wait a minute, no.
Let me show you what the difference is. Go ahead.
One, we have a video, and one we don't. We have no circumstances. We have no evidence. We have no video. We have absolutely nothing to come to our own conclusion.
The only video we have of the hobo in New York was him being choked out by three white men.
No, it wasn't three white men. It was one Latino, one white man, and a black man. That's what it was, and that's what's on the video.
Okay. So we saw a hobo.
Now, what did I say wrong about the brother
being choked by three people?
Yes, that's what you seen. You seen two of them, bro. Look, I'm glad you called. I've been waiting for this moment, bruh. Here's a video. Here's a picture of the young man. Look, that's the white boy choking him. There's the Latino dude and the black guy holding his arms down. What are you talking? You gonna tell me all three of them shouldn't be charged? If you jump somebody, everybody should be charged.
No.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Listen.
I'm wrong.
The hobo.
Look at this. They holding him down, bro. I'm showing the pictures. This is from ABC News.
Yes. The picture tells 1,000 words. The 1,000 words
tell the truth.
That the white man choked the shit out of him.
And the brother and the Latino dude are holding him down. So if me and you go jump somebody and you throw all the punches and I hold him down and you take his wallet out of his pocket and we run off, we both robbed him. I don't have to touch him. I robbed him just like you robbed him. Great. And my whole argument was they all should have been charged.
Okay, exactly. And you were saying that white man shouldn't be charged at all.
I said that I would have done the same thing of defending
audience,
the car.
Do y'all remember that argument?
Bro,
so please type in the comments that y'all remember him saying that white man shouldn't have been charged. Tell me I'm not crazy. I remember what this. I remember what wait a minute. LL podcast saying.
So wait a minute. I got pictures of my points that I was trying to make, and that was how you just gonna charge one person, okay, and not charge everybody that was involved. That was always my point of view.
But okay, let's move on for that. As you know, the Black Lions in the audience, my favorite caller ever, and like he likes to say, brother, let's move on.
Okay, go
because
ahead.
The point I'm making is that the difference between the two incidents is the hobo wasn't bothering the people who killed him. The young black fella was directly accosted by the white man he killed. That incident set the precedent for that young brother to be able to walk scot-free. Do you not agree with that?
Repeat the last part of that. I heard the first part. Repeat
that incident of the hobo being killed in the New York train set the precedent for the young brother in Texas to be able to walk free because he was accosted directly by the person he had to protect himself from.
First of all, like I said, and I'm
he wasn't playing hero. He was playing protective to himself.
Like I said, I'm going to stick with what I said until I get more. Look, bro, you can say whatever you want to say, but you're talking about two different states that have stand your ground laws that are totally different. And that's what you need to pay attention to. Don't pay attention to what I say. Pay attention to what the laws and all that start. They dictate.
I'm just trying to keep you consistent.
No, I'm very consistent, bro. And I say this every time.
If your period comes on the 9th, it needs to come on every 9th of the month.
No,
it can't come on the 17th sometime.
You trying to do the stand-up shit right now. And what I'm trying to tell you is
I'm not trying to do no stand-up shit. That's what CK did an hour ago.
No, what I'm
trying to keep you consistent.
Do you want? I'm very consistent. Do you want to learn something? Or you want
camera of Cincinnati?
Do you
want to blow up the negatives I blow up the negatives so people can see the bigger picture. The negatives was that you were very complimentary of that white man for killing a hobo.
Why are you doing that, bro? What does that? Okay, let me ask you something. What does that have to do with the little dude in Texas? Make that make sense.
It's all stand your ground.
Okay,
it's all stand your ground.
All right. And when you get educated, when you finally find out
whether he was under the wrong track 10 or not, it's not that white man's. It's not his tent.
Okay, all right.
It belongs to the school.
Like I said, I can't speak on a situation that I don't know anything about. I don't have any evidence of what happened.
When the black man is in the right, why do you not know?
Bro, what the fuck is wrong with you? This ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You sound crazy as fuck. I see what you're doing. When the white man, because you do that type of shit that's just unnecessary, bro. It ain't got nothing. This ain't got nothing to do.
An hour ago,
my position on how.
Why am I getting lambasted after the bullshit you just heard from the previous two calls?
Bro,
why am I the one getting
for some odd reason? It's just different. You just different.
Because you're being called to task.
No.
And not being called to laugh at some jokes.
You just on some bullshit right now and trying you doing exactly what I've been describing.
I'm on my camera shit right now.
No, you not. You on some dumb shit. You on some dumb shit. Because first of all, you come on here trying to describe why it felt a certain way, when in fact what you said was not accurate. What you said was not accurate about my feelings about what happened. I said that 3 men should have been charged. If you're going to charge one for jumping somebody, you got to charge everybody that's involved. Why didn't they do that? If you got a man that's choking somebody out and I'm holding that man's arms from being able to help himself free himself, I'm just as guilty as choking that young man. I'm an accessory. I'm part of the problem. I helped. I assist. That was always my point of view. So now you coming in with this other shit about all that. That ain't got nothing to do. You making up shit to set a certain narrative. I don't play shit like that. That's the
curse word of this calls from you. I don't deserve that.
You on some bullshit, Fame, and you know
Number 8 curse word.
Well,
let me say this.
I got
because
10.
You're cursing and you're coming out of character. You're becoming unglued. You're becoming unglued. This is not the Wyatt we were subscribed to.
Okay? Well, stop playing.
Now, you were talking about motherfuckers wearing Gucci bags and showing them off, saying, I do it because I can.
I ain't got time to talk about no Gucci bags. What
about? Did you not say that?
You say it again?
You were talking about Gucci bags and all that old stuff like that and saying, like, I do it because I can. Did you not, say something like that earlier?
Do what? Because I can. Talk about it?
Oh, no, people, like, what's the point of wearing, having one of those?
Oh, yeah. I said people wear it because they like to show that they can. Yeah.
Right. Just like you do.
I don't wear Gucci, Louis Vuitton, and
Nigga,
shit
you
like
bought a spaceship of a Benz and put it on Facebook like, yeah, look what just came in the mail today.
When did I do that?
When you bought that new Benz you got.
When?
I don't know what a
Fame,
year ago?
I ain't bought a Benz in years. What are you talking about?
What the fuck? You wasn't driving a Benz saying, look what just came today, y'all. Blah, blah, blah. You didn't say the price of it.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
One of those spaceship ones.
When have I ever came on the air and talked about some shit that I bought?
Fame, on Facebook Live.
Stop playing. You sound crazy than a motherfucker. When have I ever got on here and talked about buying a car?
What the fuck? I sat there and we watched it on Facebook Live.
If anybody remember that, if anybody remember me coming on Facebook, buying a Benz and talking about it, let me know right now in the comment section.
Okay, Wyatt. Okay, let me ask you this. Have I ever been to your house?
No.
Have I ever been to your second home?
No.
How the hell do I know that you got a black Benz?
Because you and I have talked on the phone on FaceTime several times.
You ain't never told me about I got a black Benz. I ain't want you to want me come scoop you. Ain't no shit ever said like that. Quit lying.
Fame. Have you ever listen? Wait a minute, hold on. Fame. Have you ever been to my house?
No.
Fame. Have you ever been to any of my homes?
No, sir.
Okay, but you know what I have at my house, and how do you know that?
Because you put it on Facebook Live.
No, because come on, bro, don't do that. Don't do that. Go to my Facebook. Go to my Facebook page.
Do you not like my answer?
No, because this is what happened. This is what happened. You and I, Fame, if you're gonna tell the truth. You and I have conversations. We've had conversations
offline. Yes, but we never talked about no personal possession.
And we're not talking about what we talk about. But you have had conversations with me on FaceTime while I'm at my property. Have you not?
Yes.
So you know from that, not because of what I've said.
You flexed on me when I was trying to interview you on YouTube.
God.
Or not YouTube.
You just called me out of the blue, bro.
Sitting on the 7th hole of your estate.
Say what?
Like, is that a golf course you're sitting on? He was like, yeah.
But Fame,
you're trying to flex on me.
No, I didn't.
Do that.
You called me out of the blue and said, and I was rocking with it. I didn't have no problem doing the little interview. We were talking about boxing, remember?
Exactly.
And you called me out of the blue. I didn't know it was going to be on FaceTime. You called me. I answered. I happened to be where I was. That was it. And that was funny. Now be honest. Is that not how it went?
Funny.
Wait a minute, hold on. Be honest.
You flexed. Didn't know you were flexing.
No, be honest though. Be honest, bro. Did you not call me and out of the blue and like, okay, I'm where I'm at. I ain't about to just, what you want me to do?
I didn't trip. Remember, I started laughing like, this nigga live on a golf course. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? I was laughing about it. Like, wow, that's impressive.
But then why are you trying to use that like I did?
Because you did that with the black Benz. No, you're not gonna sit here and lie and say you didn't do that. It's not to insult you. It's just to remind you that we all have our imperfections. Let's not insult the people who like to show off their wealth, because on some level, everybody does it.
No, I don't.
That's all I'm saying. Again,
I don't agree with that.
Blowing up the negatives so that people can see the bigger picture.
That's all I'm doing, brother. I guess I'm showing off my.
Despite your light-skinned flaws.
Oh my God! See what I'm talking about, y'all? See what I got to go through? My own.
Well, that should make up for the 8 curses that I received.
Fame, I ain't got nothing but love for you, bro.
Real.
You hit me below the belt
fun.
today. Hey, Fame,
I'm a little fatigued from the recent
Fame,
full moon. Yes,
hold on, Fame, hold on. Before you go, I got to do you the same way I did. Who was that? Twin. Don't think I'm gonna forget that flex. Don't think I'm gonna forget
what flex?
How you came. No, we gotta go. Don't think I'm ever gonna forget that below the belt shot you took at me. I got
ain't take no shot, B.
I got you
take no
because
shot.
you know we didn't have conversations off the air, on the phones, and you know I'm gonna leave it at that.
But we ain't never talked about no motherfucking black Benz.
And I've never told anybody that I bought a black Benz and no spaceship and all that shit that you adding yeast to. That's how
it's fly.
I gotta go.
Don't get
I'm not gonna hang up on you.
It's fly in the motherfucker.
I don't care about all that. Okay. I don't care.
Okay. Did you not put your bank account on your show?
No.
Show us your bank. Oh my God.
Wait a minute. Whoa. You might be right about that, but let me tell you why. Hold on. We were talking about fraud. At some point. We were talking. No, because I didn't show you anything that was a great thing. I showed you how.
That you lost $500,000.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
What the fuck?
I showed negatives.
Hey, I love y'all.
I showed negatives.
I was a little tired from the recent full moon.
He on some bullshit. He on some bullshit. Get off my line. Y'all know I love Fame, but he all over the place. He wrong today. Somebody put in the chat where I did that. And of course, I was devastated when I found out my account's been hacked. I mean, let's be honest. Everybody would. Like, it just hit me that day that I was doing a show. I almost didn't do the show. I was so nervous that, wow. Like, wow. I can't believe somebody hacked into you. Like, you, and how many people came in here and said, that happened to me. And they took everything I had. A lot of us said that. Oh, I don't expect certain people to agree with my point of view. I expect people who feel a certain way about me to agree. I really do. I already know. They know who they are. And people, don't worry about it, y'all. I know who they are. Y'all know who it is. People that reach out to me who pull me onto the game. I already know. I ain't tripping on that shit. Just remember, they're here. They're here. I ain't where they at. They where I'm at. So if they I'm gonna leave it alone. Twin said what he said. I don't keep up with you. You keep up with me. And that's crazy to me. I ain't never followed nobody I don't fuck with. Never in my life. I gotta go. That's my time. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace and love to everybody, man. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Nam yo ringekyo, 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 nam yo ringekyo. Concentrate, meditate, levitate. Greetings from the Golden State. Mr. X to the Z. Concentrate, come walk with me. Your shit sounds so awkwardly. I don't rhyme, I just stomp down beat. Real estate state, section 8. Which one would you rather take? Concentrate, move that way. Show me how you regulate. Hold up, wait, that shit's fake. Get these niggas up out my face. Shake the room, bend the spoon. Turn this up now, stay in tune. Hypnotized by the way she move. Take your time, you might arrive too soon. Concentrate, 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 concentrate. Bring that back. What was that? Oh my Lord, she got back. So precise, so intact. Oh my God, who is that? Hibernate, consummate. Man was made to procreate. My estate generates as if my family name was Gates. Days of grace, lift big plates. Why be good, nigga? Go be great. Hit the brakes, crack them crates. How you in a run going state to state? Contemplate, demonstrate. Mind over mayhem, no mistakes. Lift some weights, eat some steaks. But you don't really want that face to face. So let's relax, check your trap. Don't let your concentration snap. I love the way she arch her back, like how motherfuckers supposed to handle that. Concentrate, 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 concentrate. Bring that back. What was that? Oh my lord, she got back. So precise, so intact. Oh my god, who is that? Breath control, touch your soul. Just maintain, don't lose control. Participate, congratulate, cause everything else be seen as hate. Remain in place, the same mind state. Get off your ass and celebrate. Congregate, associate, don't fuck yourself, procrastinate. Dilate to an all-time great. Calculate the next move I make. Crack the safe, keep that ace in my waistband just in case. I'm no rat, can't run your race. Not too good, don't fit my taste. I love the way she make that shake, making it hard to